Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My children are still asleep, so I'm trying to be a little quiet. And my computer is still restarting. So good morning. Who is here? Is anybody here? Am I all by myself? I might be all by myself. Let's see if anyone's there. Say hello, hello, hello. Let's see here. Let me get everything ready and set up. Hello. What a beautiful morning. I was looking up a whole bunch of stuff about the Idaho killings this morning. Oh, all right. Good morning. Is anybody out there? I don't think anybody is. And if not, I'm going to go back and lay down and go to bed. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to go to Discord to see if anybody's here, you little shits. There's still more people here. Hello, pretty kitties. What are you doing, Holly? What are you doing, Holly? Precious, there you are. Is somebody here to talk to me? How are you? Thought I was going to be all alone by myself. I'm trying to be quiet because my kiddos everybody's asleep in my house. It's like 9 o'clock. Why is everybody asleep? Wait, what time is it for you? Wait, what part of Canada are you? Are you east or west? Wait, where are you in Canada? I'm east. Music on too. Wow. Shh, push it. I got twos going. All right, let's see. Oh, they probably made an arrest. Oh my gosh. Wait, where should we go? Wait, Precious, they just made an arrest. Where? Wait, I can stream it here. Oh, you're in Ontario near the border? Okay, I want to see where I can stream it. Hold on. Where? Um, oh my God. I have a funny story about Niagara Falls. I don't know if you're into the Idaho thing, but they just made an arrest. So I'm trying to find out where it is, and then I'll just like stream it and I can watch it while I talk to you. But so I marched in a drum corps and I was 18. They did make an arrest? Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to find where it is so I can play it or do something with it. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna move this over here and look for it, and then I'll put it on. So let's get rid of that. Okay, you stop. All right, so I was in drum corps and I'm marching, and we're on the New York side. We had a free day. So we're there and we're like having lunch or whatever. And I bet Justin is showing it. Oh, let's see. I don't see Justin. Well, here's Zab Girl. All right. POI in Idaho, arrested in person of interest arrested in Pennsylvania. All right. So anyway, so if you want to go, you can. Like I won't be offended. But if you want to go watch something about this, that's fine. I'm kind of trying to like I'll put something on here if you want to watch it with me. I'm trying to see what's on to hear about it, but it looks like I don't know if they're saying who. Oh, here's that girl. Here, let me see if I can. Can you hear it? Wait, this is about arrest. Ah, right. Well then I can watch it later then. Hey Italian girl, I heard there was an arrest. I was gonna try and play it here, but it's not showing. Anyway, so I was telling Precious because she's on the right over on Ontario. So I'm in the New York side, and there's a whole bunch of us. Hey, Mystery Sky. I got to figure out how to pronounce that. So there's me and like three of my girlfriends, and we're on the New York side. And I'm telling a story because I asked Precious Chaos where she was, and she's right on the other side, Niagara Falls on Ontario. And so I was 18, and we're all sitting there, and I think we tried to order drinks, but we didn't get any because we weren't 21. And then all at once, I was like, wait a minute. All we have to do, and this was like 91 or 1990, maybe, like all we have to do is run over that bridge, and we're in Canada and we're legal there. And it was, oh my God. And we went running, and this was before passports. And we go over there, and right when you get over, like there's like the wax museum and stuff, and it's so fun. But we go straight to a bar, and they carded us, and I gave them my ID, and I was legal because the drinking age is 18 there. Oh, I was so excited. That was one of my best moments. I got carded and I was legal. It was awesome. Have you ever seen Niagara Falls without any water? It's kind of really gross. It's not very attractive at all. So I know there's a 1 p.m. News conference, which probably it's 10 here, but does anyone know, was someone actually arrested? Like what has gone on with this? Oh, I'm still showing my screen. I don't need to show my screen there. So was someone arrested? I don't even know what's going on. I'm gonna get all my stuff ready and then turn my camera on. I just made a big boom, so I had to. Well, I heard because I asked in Discord, is anyone here? Because no one was here. And then Just Don said Ellie just made an arrest. So that's probably where everyone is. So let me see. Let's see. Who was arrested? You did that when you were 21. Yes. There are some places where we serve all night. From what someone's saying, they do have someone in custody. Wow. Wow, I wonder who it is. I had a feeling they were a lot closer than they kind of said they. I mean, sometimes I don't know why they don't trust the police more. I mean, they're not going to tell you what they're doing. So sometimes they might have everything wrapped up in a bow, ready to go, and you just don't know it. Because you don't need to know it. That's, you're on a need to know basis and you don't need to know that shit. But so, all right, let me turn my camera on here. Oh, good morning. I got all my lotion on, so I look white as a ghost. So, all right. So one, does anyone know about the Idaho 4? Anybody know anything that really happened? Because I am pretty interested in it. But I'll watch it. Hey, Tooth Fairy. Yes, I have my white face cream on, so I look like a beautiful ghost. But does anyone know, was someone arrested? Oh, when I went over the border to Canada that one time, and Tooth Fairy, you just got here. We were talking about going over the border over Niagara Falls to Canada when I was 18 to drink, because you're legal. 18 is legal age. I didn't show anything. Nothing. I think we just ran across. I think we just went across the bridge. I mean, I know I didn't have a passport. I didn't have a passport. And I doubt I carried my birth certificate. I mean, maybe I showed my driver's license, but I honestly think we just ran across the bridge. Oh, wait. So he's from another, I didn't even see it. So he's from another university. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I saw it said person of interest. So, well, I guess there's a news conference at 1, which if that's 1 p.m., that would be 10 a.m., 10. So that might be 10 a.m. my time, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll just see how the day goes. But wow, I had a feeling they were kind of close. I mean, they said the guy had defensive wounds and stuff, so I couldn't really see how. Hold on, I'm going to get something behind me, and I'm going to show you my butt if I don't. But I had a feeling they said they had defensive wounds, so how can you not find a, person who's guilty of that? Okay. Oh, geez. I almost broke a mirror. Give myself 7 years bad luck on the beginning of the year. What's going on? What's going on? If anyone likes Brett Michaels, he says that all the time. What's going on? What's going on? All right, I got everything. Okay. All right, now I'm back. So yeah. Okay, so I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to find out what's going on, because that's really I don't know. So should we make okay, so it's not going to be the roommates, because that was one maybe it's the roommate. So it's not going to be a roommate because it's someone in another university, right? He's from Monroe County. You just know everything. So what else? Tell me more. Tell me more. Do you want to come up? Tell me what you want to do. I want to know all the secrets. I was so interested in this. I just love stuff like this. I really love true crime. I love all those shows, all of them. He's from Monroe County. So how far is Monroe County from, um, let's look here. How far is Monroe County from where they are? So let's look at 1 second here. What is that? Oh, Justin just put in. Okay, so let's put Justin on over here. We'll just have Justin on over here. Hold on. Let me present. Your mom would hold. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, maybe you had to do it to come into America, but I don't think we had to do it to go to Canada, which they often do. Because somehow America thinks we're special, which we're
Not
so
the
not.
man
Okay,
who
here we go.
points out
All
how the
right.
strong man stumbles,
28-year-old.
or
Okay.
where the doer of deeds could have done them
Also,
better.
Jason Elkin.
The
All
credit
right. Well, let me know if
belongs
you can
to the
hear it. So
man
I got
who is
Justin over
actually
here.
in
And if
the
you want me to
arena,
turn this off, I
whose
will.
face is marred by dust,
We can
sweat,
I
and
can turn
blood,
the sound off so
who
we can just
strives
see it. You guys let me
valiantly,
know what you guys
who
want to do.
errs and may fall
I can
again
show it with
and
sound, I
again.
can show it without sound, and I
Because
cannot
there is
show it
no
at
effort
all. You guys let
without
me know.
error, or shortcoming.
But I don't know who's interested and who's not.
Teddy Roosevelt.
You let me know what you want to do. But Brian Kohlberger. Wow. And where is Brian Kohlberger? Who the heck is Brian Kohlberger? I bet I can find it out faster.
Holy shit. They got him.
Wow.
They got him.
Man arrested.
A guy we
He was
have
arrested in the
never,
Poconos.
ever
My best friend's from the
heard
Poconos.
of either. And
wow.
his name is Brian.
See, I'm just totally
something.
beating
Hold on.
Justin on all this.
I literally,
It's 4 p.m.
my
day
phone
later.
has been
wow.
screwy.
Okay, come on. Flipping ads.
And let me show you this, guys. Oh
please go
my
away.
God.
Can you please go away?
It's gonna be a long day, guys. Gonna be a long day.
Oh my God. Oh my, I hate
That's
ads.
okay.
There we go. Okay.
Suspect in
4 p.m.
deaths in Idaho students arrested in Pennsylvania. Harrisburg PD, a suspect in the killings of the 4 University of Idaho 4 students was arrested in eastern Pennsylvania, a law enforcement official said Friday. Arrest paperwork filed by by Pennsylvania.
We'll let Justin read it to us.
I'm already excited. Sorry. Filed by Pennsylvania
this is crazy.
State Police in Monroe County Court said Brian Christopher Kohlberger, 28, was arrested, held for extradition in the criminal homicide investigation based on an active arrest warrant for the first-degree murder issued by Moscow Police Department.
Once he says that, I'm going to turn it off. I just want to kind of hear. Wow.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Arrested by SWAT.
County prosecutor. On condition of anonymity.
Hold on.
Wow.
Sorry. In prosecutor's office, a law enforcement official confirmed the arrest. The Associated Press conditions of being anonymous because they could not publicly discuss details of the investigation ahead of the former announcement expected later Friday. There is a news conference that should be happening at 3 p.m. So 6, what will that be? 6 p.m. our time? 6 p.m. our time? Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. I got ICU and stuff digging right now, but I'll tell you something. He's been really hard to find. I think he obviously planned this for a reason.
Wow. I wonder why he did it. Like, how is he connected to anybody? Wow. Wow.
Sorry, I'm getting
I love stories like this. Like, I want to know all the juicy details now. Justin has the same ring as me. So every time his phone does that, I'm always like, where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Marissa's calling. Hold on. Hey, I'm live. You're on speaker.
Hey, so was it
the other thing.
Incel?
It was a guy in Pennsylvania.
All right. Let me turn that down. All right. So, okay. So it'll probably take a while to get any information there. So the other thing. So what do we think about all these phone calls from Mr. Tony? Maybe Mr. Tony, maybe like what's going on with that? I noticed Tony wasn't live this morning, which I'm not subbed to her. So I normally don't watch her, but I'm pretty sure she comes on in the mornings, right? And I looked her up and she wasn't. She usually is live in the mornings and she wasn't live. But Purple was. And it was funny because Heidi asked Harper if her boobs were real because they were all saying how big her boobs were. And it was like, oh, I thought it wasn't okay to have fake boobs. I thought that made you fake and plastic and horrible. Oh, but it's all okay. I think it's 1 p.m. Pacific. Oh, yeah, so there's tons of time before it. Yeah, there's if there's any info, yeah, I don't think they're going to say anything until the press conference. They're probably just going to say that it's a guy named that, and they're going to save all the juicy details till then. So what do we think about this phone call situation? So from what I know, they've got to have been calling, which doesn't look very good, but I don't know. Like, I was trying to figure out what the whole deal was with Frank's phone number, because I really didn't. Like, yeah, it was well, first I was shocked when all once the phone came on and it was like Mr. Jackie calling. But so I have trap call too. And if you remember in my live on Wednesday, I was talking all about trap call. And then suddenly somebody has trap call, even though Perp doesn't watch me, but suddenly she got trap call after I talked about trap call. But anyway, so what trap call does is if you have your number hidden or blocked, it'll show up. So I guess the number had been blocked before, which is why she was getting restricted number or 000s or whatever. And then suddenly it showed up as, Mr. Jackie. So, but I heard it won't do spoof numbers, but obviously he wasn't spoofing his number. Oh yeah, live chat. I'm probably not. You guys might be the only two people here. No, mysterious guy is here. I can't pronounce the new thing. Okay, let me try it. Oh, Italian girl's here too. Mysterious guy. Mysterious guy. Mysterious guy. See, I can't pronounce that. I sound like an idiot. Mysterious guy. Mysterious guy. See, I can't do it. I just sound stupid. I'm just going to say mysterious. Mysterious. Wait, let's go see if there's anything being said. I think they're just going to like blah, blah, blah.
How do you make it up?
Okay, so this right here,
Let's just
Hello?
we have,
oh,
Is it working? God damn it. Fuck.
this is the docket.
yeah, this is going to say he was arrested for first degree
Unmute.
murder, right?
And
Shit,
I
it's
don't
not
think anything's going
working?
to be said here. We'll see. If something's said here,
arresting officer Justin M. Larry.
say first
Not
degree murder,
working.
right?
I'm not muting myself.
Marissa, do you know where
Wow.
Monroe County Prison, isn't that close to Ohio?
What is Marissa yelling for?
What?
Albrightville, Pennsylvania. Brian Kohlberger.
Poconos knows is like center north.
I know who will have his picture.
All right, Marissa's yelling. So anyway, so yeah, so I don't think there's any way around the fact that the Tonys were the ones making the calls, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were making all the calls, right? I mean, it just means they were making the calls right then. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out last night, but it didn't look good. And Tony wasn't making herself sound any better by saying all that crap about Precious. I know she was mad, but that didn't make her look good. What are you eating for lunch, Italian girl? I'm having one of my amazing smoothies. Helper can connect the calls that came in last night is connected to, yeah, exactly. So basically she knows that she got a call last night and that was Mr. Tony and that he had tried to disguise his number, hide his number. What he should have done is when she called and said hello. Ooh, that sounds yummy. When she called back and said hi, he should have said, "Hey, how you doing?" and acted like, he was just calling to say like, I wanted to discuss a truth or something. That's what he should have done. He should have just played like, I'm just giving you a call, right? Oh. So anyway, like he should have just pretended like he just happened to be calling, because he could be calling to be like, hey, I'd like to discuss this and between you and me and blah. Like he could have done that and it all would have went away. But not smarter than the average bear, I guess, as Tony says. So anyway, so obviously he was calling then and hiding his number. So probably was going to do some little crank call. But yeah, that doesn't mean that he was making all the calls I got a hair like right in front of my face. This is the problem with blonde hairs. You can't see them. Like I kind of can see it, but it's right. Oh my God. I kind of can see it. I almost got it. But yeah, that doesn't mean he made all the calls or he made that really bad call. Like, it just means he was making a call right then and there, right? So it means something, but it means nothing. I mean, it definitely means they have made some calls, which makes them obviously more likely that they made the bad call than me, because I've never made, or Precious. But it certainly isn't like damning evidence that, they did like anything. But, of course, Perp's got it all. Lock, sealed, key, deliver, whatever that saying is. Lock, under lock and key, signed, sealed, delivered. I don't know. But yeah, so now I guess she's running with the narrative that they threatened her son, which I heard Heidi was saying. I think Tooth Fairy, you might have been in there actually. I don't remember. But Heidi was like, I got some screenshots from Queen OG's live, and they were all talking about how I was saying I didn't believe them. They were getting threatening calls, which I still don't. I still don't. I obviously the Tonys were some of the people like calling and giving them crank calls, but I still don't believe that they're getting all these mass threatening calls. I think some of them are for drama. I'm just going to say that. No one has to agree with me. It's fine if you don't, but I do think some of them are for drama. That's all I'm going to say. Perp screaming and cussing out Frank, Mr. Tony for making threatening phone call. Yeah. Yeah, it's like everyone was wrong because first you had, the whole thing was a clusterfuck. And like first Tony came out and she didn't do herself any justice because she was just saying all this stuff about Peaches and her dad and stuff, and that was like not okay. Like she just like it made her look guilty because it's like you look guilty when you've been should I just I'm gonna turn this off unless anyone cares for it to be on because it's kind of like distracting me. There we go. Like you look kind of guilty when someone says you might have done something and then you just start like going after someone else and being like, your dad did this, da, da, da. That makes you look guilty. Um, and then but then Peaches was saying all this stuff about like they defrauded all these people and all these companies, so that wasn't good either. And then Purple was running with like, well, if it was one number, it was all the numbers. So like everyone lost their damn mind. What the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Frank said he called her last night and she didn't answer. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was ever a threatening phone call, to be honest. Um, yeah, I think there were some prank calls. Obviously, Mr. Tony called Purple and hid his number. Obviously. And obviously Frank did too, because there were a lot of those 210 numbers. And that's the other thing. She totally showed all of Frank's info, like all of Frank's info. Like you saw his full name, his city, his state, his phone number, everything. Everything. That was bad. But yeah, I can't imagine making a prank call. I can't imagine sitting there on the phone and dialing a number and being like, we can't wait till they pick up. Like, I'm gonna like burp in the phone. I don't even remember what I used to do when I do remember I once did the like, is your refrigerator on running? Well, you better go catch it. I know we did those. What other ones did we did stupid stuff. We did dumb stuff because we were young little dumb kids, and that's what dumb kids do. But doing it at 50 years old, no, I don't think you should be doing that. So I don't know. But that's why I said Mr. Tony should have like when she called him back, instead of saying nothing and hanging up, he should have just like answered and been like, "Hi, I just tried to call you." And then made it out like he was trying to, talk to her to make a truce or do something. You know what I mean? Like he could have gotten away with it if he did that, but he just hung up and she had his number and that was the end of it. And you could tell that they were guilty. You could tell by Tony's reaction and how she talked that they were guilty. Which, it's fine. I'm not making any judgment on it. Like whatever, you do you. But man, both sides are wrong in my opinion. They've both done wrong. I do believe there were phone calls, and I'm sure they were not nice. However, I don't believe that to the gravity that she made it sound with her son. I don't believe that happened. I don't. I just don't. because I think, I mean, I know for me, when I had something that was of a certain level, I was like immediately, I wasn't just like, yeah, you know, yeah. And then, to like not shore up your phone after that. If I got a call saying that, I would make sure that anytime I got a phone call, it was set to record. I had trap call to get, I would make it set. So if anyone ever did that again, I was going to get the real phone number. I was going to have it recorded, and it was easily going to be able to go to the police. Oh, that guy looks familiar. This guy looks familiar to me. Really familiar. Hold on. Um, this guy looks really familiar to me. And my best friend is from this. I mean, I grew up in Pennsylvania. That guy looks really familiar to me. Brian Koberger. Huh. Does that guy look familiar to you guys? Like, is he like a public figure that he looks familiar to me. I don't have any kids, but if that happened to my son, I wouldn't be on you. No, exactly. Anyone threaten my child or not? Yeah. I mean, Tony said she was calling Perp's son's school. Well, was that the one where they were joking? Because there was that. So I didn't know about the video until YouTube called me. And then I went in my spam and I found the email about it and all that stuff. But I immediately, because I live in an unincorporated part of the county, so I did call my local police in the town, in the corporated part of the town. And of course, they can't do anything, but I just wanted them to know. And then I called the sheriff and I asked him exactly what to do. And then I went to the, FBI child exploitation, whatever the letters are, whatever, and did the thing that everyone talks about that you should do, and talked to an attorney, and I did all that stuff, and then I called the school, and then I called my Ace Hardware. I mean, I made sure, like, I talked to my neighbors. I made sure the cameras were like, one of them was solar, one of them was battery, which so I had to like charge every once in a while. So I got a solar thing. So all the cameras were on solar. And I made sure that like my system was set. Like that's the first thing I did. Made sure that no one could get to those children in any no way, shape, or form. Because there was a video that had their pictures, that had their address. I mean, it was like, hi, little boy's here. I mean, it had my full freaking address. So, I mean, so I made sure that if anyone saw that, there was no way you could get to them. You couldn't go to the school, you couldn't go to the grocery stores, you couldn't drive into town. I mean, everybody knew, so and that was the first thing that I did. And if it had come through a phone call, I would make sure that every call was set to record, like that would be the first thing I do. So like the fact that she was so lax about it makes me think it wasn't as bad as she thought it was. And maybe it was. I mean, maybe it was. And like I'm not anyone to judge anyone, right? So that's like but whatever. But that's what I did. But anyway, I just don't believe that it was as grave as it was made to be. And I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm not wrong. And then after that, I don't believe that there were any threatening calls. There were crank calls, but I don't believe there were. So I believe there were some calls, but not to the level of like all this drama. Tony said she was called. Okay. So I think that was, there's no need for her to call any school, but I wish. Yeah. So, okay. So I know what happened with that because part of that was, Katie Bug started that. So what happened was they were talking about it, and Katie Bug knows everything that happened to me. So she said something like actually saying, did she contact the school? So actually was asking about that, and then did say something like it transformed into, well, I wouldn't mind if the news crew went over, like it was a joke. Like, wouldn't that be funny if the news went over there to make sure everything was okay? It was a joke. It wasn't like I'm going to call the news crew or I'm going to call the school. It was you seriously wondering if the school was called to make sure that the child was safe and the other children were safe. And then it transformed into a joke, like, it would be funny if the news went over there to like find out, oh, there's somebody stalking kids at the school. And that got clipped into they were actually going to do it, and it wasn't. It was a joke at that point. Like no one had ever had any intent to contact anybody. So that's like what just like it's like what happens to me all the time, like with Buckeye and the whole like pill like that's something totally taken, and I don't know if you guys have heard about that or not, but like it happens all the time where somebody sees something, and that goes back to the whole thing of like, I don't watch you. Well, see, and this is why this happens, because people see one little snip of something and they jump to a conclusion and run with it, and that's not what happened. So I know that thing with the school, that wasn't anyone saying we're going to go contact the school or we're going to go contact the news. That was a joke, and it got taken out of context. And but then I did hear she was saying that Katie Bug was calling her last night, and I texted Katie Bug and I was like, "Are you contacting Purple?" And she said she wasn't. So, like, I don't know if like Purple was making that up or someone else was calling her at like all these phone calls. It's like, who knows what's going on? Like, who knows what's going? You know what I mean? Hey, Griffey, like it's just crazy. I don't know who's calling who's not calling who's really calling who. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm trying to be a little quiet. So if I need to talk louder, I will. And it's morning here. I'm a little tired. Yeah, I think there were some crank calls. I don't believe there were as many as, oh, did you hear that crack? As many as there's, oh, as many or as grave. So I definitely, you hear that? I definitely believe some of them are being made up for drama. Because yes, like, don't you think if somebody they would play it? Like everybody has screenshots of everything, and then suddenly no one can record a phone call. So, Griffey, I heard you guys do like rolling blackouts, which that's what we call them here, but you guys sometimes don't have power, which we do that too sometimes in California, which is annoying. So I know how you feel. That guy looks familiar to me. It looks familiar to me. He's 28. He's way too young for me to know him. He's way too young. I can't know him. But is he someone like that people would know because he's like a public figure or his picture's been out there? Because I just feel like I've seen his picture before. But there's no way I could have actually known him. Because I grew up, because he's from Pennsylvania. He's in the Poconos, and my best friend's from the Poconos, and I'm from Pennsylvania. But he's too young. He's way too. So there's no way I could actually know him. But he's not anyone famous. So you lose power between 8 and 12 hours a day, or wow. So you only have power 16 to 12 hours a day. Wow. So does it rotate between losing power at night and losing power during the day? Like, do you know when you're gonna, because usually when we have rolling blackouts, we'll know ahead of time. So you can get a generator or, obviously a gas one, or, whatever you need to make sure your food is okay, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're prepared for it. But gas is probably really expensive there too, so you probably don't use generators. Probably no one uses a generator there, or maybe not, or maybe they do. I don't know. But I think in other countries, gas is really expensive, so you probably might not do that either. God, that guy's creepy. So there's a news conference. I was going to play this, but they're not really saying anything new. There's a news conference at 1, which is in like 3 hours, that they're going to say all about it, and I so want to know. I so want to know. God, I've been so into this. So was anyone into the Kylie Rodney stuff at all? Because I was really into that. The schedule changes every day. Oh, mostly during daytime. Wow. Would it be, do people have solar or generators? Like, is that a thing there? Because it's a thing here, but I can imagine certain places that you just don't do that. It's just not common. I tried to get solar really hard and it didn't work out at all. Solar companies here are mostly scammers, I think. But I tried really hard to get solar and it didn't work. But we have a generator. I'm going to get a whole home generator, which is one of those ones like when you're at the hospital and the power goes out and then it's like it goes out for a second and then it's like, no, and it comes back on. We're going to get one of those kind of things because we lose power. Well, not as often as you. I feel like an idiot talking about it compared to you, but we do lose power a lot because, everything's set up really sensitively for the fires and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I would assume if you're losing it every day, there's a problem with power. So whether it's electricity or gas or whatever, you probably just try and change your life to use as little as possible anyway. It's kind of the point of the whole thing, isn't it? I guess. See, that was me. See, that's the same sound as Justin. So when I listen to Justin, that bugs the crap out of me. So every time his phone goes off, I'm like, it's my phone. Yeah, see, I don't. Oh, they think he's a Scranton. That's where my best friend is from. Scranton. God, that's crazy. God. So it looks like he was a serial killer. Just a serial killer. Oh my gosh, I have to write that my best friend was from Scranton. Oh, crazy. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's just if you're losing power that much, it's just too expensive. I can't type. My nails are too long. Oh, so he was just a serial killer. It looks like. Oh, he was just a serial killer. Wow. His college. Wow. See, someone said, why does he look so familiar? Oh my gosh, I gotta type. Let's listen for a minute. I'm gonna listen for a minute. Yeah. Okay. So you follow Kylie Rodney. Hold on. I gotta hear this for a second because
we're going to hear from the police department there this afternoon. But right now, Tom Winter joins us on the phone with the latest. So, Tom, this has been a mystery that's been ongoing for weeks in Idaho. What can you tell us about what police have been able to uncover?
Right. So, as you said, this has been going on now for over a month. This is an investigation that has obviously now spanned across the country. The arrest made at some point here in the last 24 hours. Our understanding is the suspect, who is a man, and we don't have a lot of other details about this individual at this point, was presented in court in Monroe County, Pennsylvania earlier today in connection with this quadruple homicide of these 4 University of Idaho students. It's not clear to us what the specific charges are and what this individual's connection to the cases and whether or not they have any sort of connection to the university. We're still reporting those details out. I don't want to put out any information that may be inaccurate, but obviously a tremendous relief, particularly at this time of year and after what these families, the Chapin, Mogan, Kernodle, and Goncalves families have been through, to now have an arrest in this case. It is our understanding, as police have been briefing on this investigation over the past several weeks, that the FBI was involved. They said that they were helping them out, and it is our understanding that the FBI was involved in some way in the arrest this morning in taking the person into custody. It's unclear whether there'll be federal charges or state charges. I did talk to the Moscow, Idaho Police Department while we were in a commercial break. They're not yet confirming any details on it, but did point us to this press conference that's being held at 4 p.m. today, as you referenced. So presumably we'll get more details then. Presumably we'll get more details on any potential charges. And obviously we're continuing to report this out. Our first lead on this came from veteran crime reporter Deanna Durante at our station in Philadelphia, WCAU, and myself, along with Jonathan Dienst, working on the details here and confirming this arrest. But as far as the specifics, how they were able to get onto this individual, and if in fact this individual is responsible solely for the homicides, those are all details that are going to come, I think, into more focus here in the coming couple hours.
Yeah, and Tom, I know you don't want to speculate, but just the fact that the arrest was made in Pennsylvania, thousands of miles away from Idaho, that in itself at least gives us a little bit of insight as just to how vast this investigation must have been.
Correct. And so, was it any sort of information where obviously police have been asking for, urging for any sort of tips or information from the public? Did they get a tip off to this individual? Was there travel
Everyone was
involved in this
dogging the
individual? To your
police, and
point,
they
the fact
couldn't
that
do anything,
this
and they're
arrest was
so
made
mad.
in the
And look,
northeastern part of
bam.
Pennsylvania. So, was there any sort of a
Yeah,
we know
Pennsylvania
obviously
is
in this
quite
day
a
and age,
far
it's tough
ways
to make it
away
across
from
the country without being
Idaho.
picked up on some sort of license plate reader, toll booths, etc. Was there information on travel that helped lead to this person, or was it something that we haven't mentioned and haven't even thought of yet? Those are all details that'll come out obviously at the press conference, and then the court paperwork when we get it, excuse me, and hopefully that'll be soon.
As the final days of and we want to take a look at the
Okay, so
All right. Well, I guess we cannot. They're probably going to say the same things over and over and over and over again. Hung intestines from a ceiling fan and shoved the knife up into Kaylee's C. That's sick. It might match the crime scene. Wow. What? 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 What did I just read? Oh, hello, Lindsay. Did you hear they caught the person in the oh, dropped my shoe, in the Idaho murders? Landlord's son. They're thinking, oh God. Wow. I kind of have it on over there. It's there's a news conference at 1 my time, so in about 3 hours. But which they'll probably, like, right now they're kind of speculating, but oh my gosh, wow. Oh my gosh. So they've got that guy. Oh, his Reddit page. He has a Reddit page too. Oh my gosh. So apparently they caught him, and I'm going to Tahoe in a few days, and I'm going to be 8 miles from where Kylie Rodney went. I'm going to be like 8 miles from Prosser. Isn't that crazy? So it's this guy, I forget his first name now, Michael, I don't know, but he's from the Poconos in Pennsylvania. So that's like central north of Pennsylvania. And I don't think they haven't told everything. I think they're kind of speculating a little bit right now. There's a news conference at 1 where they're going to say everything. But I think, they're kind of doing what they do. Brian Koberger. I think that's he's a PhD student, I think. But I don't think they know all the details right now. I think they're just going back and forth. Like, oh my God. I can't wait till 1. Wow. Yeah, apparently I did read something that he took their intestines out and hung them from the ceiling fan. I heard that, but I'm not sure if that's like everything's kind of speculation right now. So, which is why I'm not getting too wrapped up in it, because I think it's all speculation right now. Oh, but that's crazy. Well, they caught him. Oh, yeah. So where I'm going to be staying, it's going to be the last week of snow pretty much in Tahoe. And I'm going to be at about 7,000 feet, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm very excited. And my kids will get to go sledding. Oh my gosh. And of course, so I just had to spend like $300 on snow clothes that they'll probably wear this week, and that's it, because they'll probably be grown out of them next year. But oh my gosh. If you guys want me to put this on and have it play, I can. But I think they're just saying the same things, like they don't really know. I think they're just kind of like, blabbering until the press conference. But you guys let me know what you want to do. So Lynn, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Oh my gosh, you're living in the snow. But I hear it's warm now. Has it warmed up? I hear it's gotten warm, and it's warm now. Okay, someone said it was like 50 degrees yesterday, which it's actually getting cold here. I'm going on Tuesday. I'm leaving Tuesday. And and then I'll be back on Friday, or or Saturday, and then the kids have the weekend. They go back to school on Monday. So I'm really excited. And I usually stay on this one road, and all the houses there, they're on like a slope. So they all have these big backyards where you could basically sled in the backyard. Like the last time we went, we never even left the house. We just stayed in the house and they sledded down the back. But we went end of January, beginning of February. So there it was all like no snow. Like it had not snowed in a while. So the snow that was there was like a little bit hardish because it had warmed up, it refroze, it warmed up, it refroze. So we kind of got the last of the snow, and we were at 7,000 feet. If you were at like no feet or like 1,000 feet, there was no snow. It had all melted away. So we got very, very lucky. Hold on, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Hold on. So yeah, so I hear that all the weather in this country is getting better. And Precious and I were talking about running across Niagara Falls to go drinking on either person's country. Yeah, I don't think they know. It doesn't sound like they really, really know anything. So, what is everyone? Wait, so is tomorrow New Year's Eve? Wait a minute. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Do you see what happens when you like basically are home all the time and don't go anywhere? Like you get all your days mixed up. So tomorrow's New Year's Eve. What is everyone doing for New Year's Eve? Holy crap, that just like snuck the crap right up on me. What is everyone doing? I'm doing nothing, which is what we usually do. But I mean, I have two little kids, so um oh wow. First time you've had oh wow. Well, usually what we do is because we have, little kids, is we I have a helium balloon thingy, so we do all these helium balloons, and so those all go around the ceiling. And then I do all these non-helium ones, so cover the floor with it. And we just like drink apple juice in champagne flutes and like watch whatever stupid show is on, and we just have a fun time. Like last year, I think my youngest and I did like a twister battle, and oh my God, we had so much fun. Like we were just all sprawled out, like, like you can imagine, like doing Twister with then with a 9-year-old. It was a lot of fun. And then we did one, which is, what is it? Yeti in my spaghetti, where you have these long pieces of spaghetti and you have a Yeti guy and you have to pull out the spaghetti without a ball. I mean, we just played board games the whole time. Trying to look at what Justin's doing. They're just speculating. Yeah, that's all we did. We just played board games, and we all actually stayed up till midnight. We don't always stay up till midnight. But the good thing about living in California is you can always puss out and use someone else's. So you can be like, like the East Coast, like 9 p.m. for me. Be like, okay, it's midnight there. Yay, going to bed. Like you can always take someone else's midnight. But oh my gosh, I just realized it's gonna be 2023. It's gonna be 2023. I'm gonna do a paw press with my 23-year-old cat, because I did not think that he was gonna be here for Christmas in 2019 or 2020 or 2021 or 2022. And I really honestly, I really can't imagine him being here next year. Like I really can't. I mean, I would love him to, but I mean, he's just getting really old. So yeah, we steal a time zone. So I'm gonna do this. Hold on, let me grab it. You do these for babies. Here, let me take this off. They do these for baby. I'm gonna do one of these. Doesn't that look fun? I'm gonna do it with his paws. Because I can't imagine he's gonna be here next year. Yeah, totally. And leg warmers. Leg warmers are the key in the winter. Okay, so what's everyone else doing? Who all is here? Italian girl's here, Lynn's here, Griffey's here, Precious is here. Do you hear that? It's really windy out. Is there any other lurkers back there? I hate when people call them lurkers. It's so mean. They're just people hanging out, having fun. Look at that. Oh, see, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Let me show them to you real quick. If you haven't seen him. Look at him. He's creepy looking. He's creepy looking. Look at him. He looks so familiar to me, and I don't know why. Amazon. I buy everything at Amazon, to be honest with you. I was just talking to one of my friends, and we were talking about stuff, and I was like, I get everything on Amazon, and she's like, even clothes, and I'm like, a lot of them, yeah. Like my leg warmers, like yoga pants. You can get everything on Amazon. I mean, I pretty much live in yoga pants and like tank tops, and then like some kind of shirt, something sweater over it. And you can get yoga pants and tank tops and pretty much everything. It's 62 at the Berg. It's really it's a storm here. Hold on, what am I trying? It's very stormy here. I don't know if you can see behind me. It's really dark. It's really stormy. Let me see the weather. It might snow here. Isn't that crazy? It might snow here. Last year my parents came here for Christmas, and it was funny. It was really cold, and I think it did snow here. It snowed here last year. And it was warm there. It's like we traded temperatures. So let me tell you what. It might snow here. I'm stuffy today. It might snow. Because it's going to go down to like 36, 37. And I have a snowmaker I made, which if it doesn't snow here, I can try and make my own snow. So let's see. Go away. Let's see. Right now it is 51, but the real feel is 43. Yeah, -40. -50 is the coldest I've ever felt. So I think tonight, though, it's going to get cold. Let me see. Like, it's going to go down to like 37, 38. That's not cold enough. It's going to start going down to like 36, 37. So, and it's going to be raining. So it could kind of snow a little bit. But I made this snowmaker, and it has, like, you take it from a pressure washer. So the water's going really fast, and it has a separate inlet for the water, and then it also has an air, like just an air pump, whatever. So you have the water going from a pressure washer, and then you have air coming from air pump. And so it basically like, particleizes the water and it turns it into snow if it's cold enough. So I've been thinking about, because I can get it fast enough, but I don't know if I can get it cold enough. So I might try and put like a sleeve of dry ice around it. Like I could do that, but I'm hell bent on making my own snow. Hell bent. Yeah, I think everything was bad for everybody, wasn't it? It was really bad. Yeah, it's funny. I I hadn't worn leg warmers since the 80s either, but before I went to Tahoe last year, I just decided that was going to be my new like thing. And so these ones are like really long. Let me get rid of this. Stuffy, sorry. So these ones are really long. But what I have to do is they start to stretch out there because my husband put them in the dryer. So I have to what is it? I'm so crafty. I'm gonna put like, this is like stretchy. I'm gonna like put that through here so I can kind of like tie them a little bit, have a little tie there so like they don't stretch out because they fall down. But -40. But I was telling my friend, you can get everything. You can get everything at Amazon, like everything. You can get underwear, you could get bras. I mean, you can literally get anything there. You just have to maybe research it. You can buy hair extensions there. I mean, you could buy anything. Maybe not all like the brands or whatever you want, but I mean, you can buy pots and pans. You can buy anything. And when you live in the boonies like me, like I live in the boonies, there's no way I'm going, for me to drive somewhere to buy something. I mean, think about it this way. For me to drive somewhere, I got my little, for me to drive somewhere, like it takes me 45, if I want to go to a Target, that takes me 45 minutes. Like any sort of anything is like at least 45 minutes. And then you have gas, which gas is still like, I think it's down to like low sixes, but it's still really expensive, you know? So by the time we drive and time and gas, Amazon, 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 free return. Like, so my kids were going sledding or whatever. So they need bibs and jackets. And they're like, yeah, my kids don't have winter jackets right now. My son has not worn pants for the year yet. He's still wearing shorts, believe it or not. He's one of those though. For those of you who live in cold weather climates, and like I grew up in Pennsylvania, there's always that I live so far, like so far away, you mean? I do live far away. But you know how there's always that one person who, when it's 20 degrees out, they're wearing shorts? Like always, there's the one jackass who's always wearing shorts, no matter how cold it is. He'll have a winter jacket on, but he's still wearing fucking shorts. That's my son. That's my son. And sorry, I'm so stuffy. That's like really gross that I'm like, but you're you people, and it's okay, right? I don't feel like muting every time I have to like, because I'm lazy today. And you're my peeps, right? Oh, not according to some people. There are some people I've heard talk about how I say things in my Discord. You guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but anywho. Anywho. But yeah, I live really far away from like anything. University of Iowa, 28-year-old suspect arrested. Moscow. Oh no, I thought this was something else. Yeah, first degree. That's all we know right now. That's all you know. He's awaiting extradition from Pennsylvania. But that's really all they know. So they're going to they'll tell more at this conference. So everyone needs to watch that conference at 1 p.m. And that's about it for right now for that little thing. But I can't wait to know more. God, can you imagine if it was just random? Just like random. Just random asshole. Like, fuck. Like, that's the worst. Like, it's one thing if you, not like this is probably going to come out the wrong way, but it's one thing if you've brought it on yourself. I don't know. Like, it's just another if it's totally random. Like these four young people with their whole lives to live, to work, to possibly create things, you know, to solve mysteries, you know, to create breakthrough medications, you know, to have children. They have their whole lives ahead to do things. And then some random knock of fate and poof, they're gone. Poof, gone forever. You know, it's like, it's like it would almost be different if it's like you're driving recklessly and, you know, so you had some culpability in it, but it's like the totally random. I don't know. I guess you feel powerless because it's like there's no way to stop completely random, reckless, like crappy things that you have no control over. It's just crazy. And that scares me as like a mom. Like, what if that happened to my kid? Like, you want to feel like you have some control over things in life, right? Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I live in the sticks. Like where I live, it's zoned so that you're not allowed to have fast food. There's no fast food here. You're not allowed to, you can't do it. It's zoned so you're not allowed to have a big box store. So we'll never have like a, you know, like a Target or whatever, any sort of big box kind of store. Can't have those. Um, and you know, when you live in a small town, everyone kind of is like, you know, shop local, support the local businessman, blah blah. Which that's great, but everything's like super crazy expensive. What was I looking at one time? I think I had to go to like a baby shower and I needed to buy something. And thanks, I'm just fussing around. See, if I don't do something, then I have no differentiation between like sitting on my couch watching movies, fucking around like it's the weekend, and like busting ass doing stuff. So I need to have something, and it's my only time to myself too. Like that's the other thing people don't understand. Like I need to have a differentiation so I know when it's like I gotta work. Like I'm doing paperwork, like I gotta get my like work face on, like literally. But like, yeah, you have to have like that like differentiation between like work and play. If not, you're never gonna get your work done, or you're gonna work all the time. And then the other thing is it's my only time to myself. Like that's the other thing people don't realize. Like I get no, I have a husband and 2 boys. Like I get no time to myself. So this is the only time when I can say, no one bother me. This is me time. Like I can just be like, see, go away. It's me. Like it's the only way I get to have me time. Like if I'm, cleaning, that's not me time. They'll still ask me to do stuff. If I'm doing like if I'm watching a movie, this is the only time they're like they get it that it's like leave mommy alone. So that's the other reason why I do this kind of stuff, because it's my excuse to have me time. And sometimes it's just fun. Like it's just fun to like, be doing stupid shit like that. But what was I just gonna say? But yeah, I have nothing close to me, which is kind of annoying, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice being a little bit out there. But if I want to get oh yeah, so I had to get a baby shower gift, and I hadn't gotten anything, and so I was like, I'll just have to go into town and buy something. And I think I got a onesie, like a onesie. And kids, they're going to wear it for a hot second until they ruin it with getting something on it or they grow out of it. And it was like $60. And I was like, I could have got this at Target for like $12. Like I could have gotten, and for kids, it's like, for adults, like we can buy something nice of high quality and wear it for 20 years because we're not going to grow. Like we're the same size. And it's, like I'm like a very basic person. So like I have like little black dress, like black pant, like I have staple kind of things. That I have things that I've had for 20, 30 years that are still like that I've probably only worn 20 times in those 20, 30 years. But like a kid, no, they're not wearing anything more than like 3 months. So you might as well just go Target and buy no Prada shit for kids. That's stupid. Gotta start the laundry. I gotta do laundry today. That's the other thing. Like this Tahoe thing kind of came up really quickly on us. So now we've got a lot to do before we go. And it's funny. So my husband is like born and raised California, right? So they get scared of driving in rain. Like it's kind of funny. But so first we were thinking of going this week. And he's like, well, I don't know if we should go. It's gonna snow. Isn't that the point to go? Because it's snowing, because we want to see snow, right? Like, and he's like, but it's going to be a storm. And I was like, again, isn't that the point? So then I'm like, well, we'll just get chains, because sometimes in Tahoe they like you can't go unless you have chains. So like buy chains. And so last night I'm like showing him the chains, and I'm like, if it's really snowing really bad, I should drive. Oh no, I'll drive. And I was like, why? Oh, I'll do it. And I was like, you do realize I grew up, like my birthday is December, so I took my driving test in snow. I learned how to drive in snow. And I was on the East Coast and Chicago for 23 years. So I have well, you don't start that early, but I've got like 7 years of only driving in snow. Like you've never driven in snow. You've only lived in California. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like people here don't know how to drive in rain. Like the first rain, because the first rain of the season, all the oils come out of the pavement or the blacktop or whatever you call, whatever. And people they don't know how to drive. They still drive too fast and they wreck into each other. It's ridiculous. I mean, people here don't know how to deal with weather because we don't get weather. Like there isn't weather. We don't have seasons. It's just kind of like it's either summer or it's kind of like fall. Yeah, I was like, we're going to Tahoe to see the snow, but maybe we shouldn't go because it's snowing. Like I was like, that's the whole point. Oh, I don't know if we should go. There's gonna be a snowstorm. Well, that's exactly why we should. Like, I love driving in snowstorms. I think it's so beautiful. Like driving through a tree tunnel when it's snowing. I once drove on a sheet of ice because I was in at Penn State and I had to get to Pittsburgh to take that was my son's foot. I had to get to Pittsburgh to take a flight to Chicago. And I really wanted to go. And it was a huge ice storm. So all the flights were closed and the roads were closed. They closed all the roads between State College and like all the roads were closed. Everything was closed. You couldn't fly, you couldn't drive. But I really wanted to get there because my boyfriend was in Chicago. So I decided that I was going to drive on a sheet of ice with the roads closed. So there were no like tows there or any, like no tow workers or anything if I had a problem. But young love. So I drove. I drove on a sheet of ice. And there were times when I was definitely like it was like I was ice skating. Like granted it was like a 5-lane highway, but there were times when it was like ooh. And I was just kind of like, drifting along. And I did wreck once. I spun out and my back ass part of my car just went. I spun and I went. And my ass just like went boom right into a snowbank. And I tried to go back forward and I was lodged the fuck in there. And I didn't want to get run my wheels too much and get myself sunk. So I just got out of the car and I was just like looked around. I was like, I tried to look really pathetic. And some car of guys stopped. I was like, what happened? And I was like, I spun out and I used to and they're like, we'll help you, little lady. And they had to actually like hook their truck up and like pull me out of there. But they pulled me out of there. And then I went the rest of the way to Chicago. But it's like I know how I've driven on a sheet of ice. I'm pretty good at, and and those of you who live in cold weather climates will laugh, but he said, well, if we have chains on, you can't go more than, 30, 40 miles an hour. I was like, well, that's more like 25, but he's like, so we'll be going slow, so it'll be easy for me to drive. And it's like, well, it's not the speed that really gets you when you drive in snow. It's just that it's snowing and you can't see well, and you have to have really quick reflexes because, and your instinct is to like put your brakes on, but you can't. You got to so I was like, all right, well, we'll start with you driving, and then we'll change to meet once you do something wrong and screw something up. Oh my gosh! But it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great time. I really do miss. I really do miss living in snow. Like I don't think I would want to live there all year. I don't think I could do that. But man, I would like a little bit of snow. Like I don't want all that stuff. Like you can't wear cute shoes and then your key gets stuck. Hey, buddy. Good morning. You're thirsty? What can I get you? You want some smoothie? Okay. Well, you can have some of mine because Daddy's gotta go to the store. We're running low on fruit. But what was I saying? Oh, I remember one time getting my key stuck in you get your key stuck in the little lock. And so I always carried, there's special stuff you can have that you put in your little lock and it de-ices the little input where you put your key in. But man, one time my thing was frozen, so I couldn't get my key in. One time my key broke off. Oh, that was annoying. That was annoying. Yeah, people live where there's snow and they drive all the time. And I know I'm really good driver and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. All right. I need to grab my son some smoothie. I'll be right back. I'm gonna actually give him some of mine, but I need to get it where's my other flip flop? Oh, I got a new pair of boots that I'd be wearing if I didn't have. Hold on, I'll show you. Where'd my other flip flop go, Mia? Ah, there's my other flop. Check these buggers out. Those are cool. Shoe Dazzle. They were super cheap. Like I love Shoe Dazzle. Like I go when I get like 3 pairs of boots for like $60 or something crazy. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Let me grab some of this here. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Woody. 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 All right, buddy. Grab you. I'm gonna give you some of mine. It's really strawberry. I like it. They had arrested someone in Idaho.
Who?
Some guy, Brian Coburger or something. He's from the Poconos. In Pennsylvania, like right where Northwood. He was caught drinking. And once, yeah.
The house looks nice, thank you.
Well, I gotta clean when I do it. It's a long time.
Thank you for doing that.
Alright. I have my license on us to get all this. Didn't think you were walking in front of my computer, anything?
Okay. Try not to.
Huh?
Try not to. Can't guarantee it though.
What?
Can't guarantee it though.
You never know. Alright, here you go, Alice. There you go. Love you. Love you most. Everything. Everything. I said it first. I said it first. Alright, maybe you did. Alright. Okay. Alright, I'm back. So I'm looking to see if there's anything new. They're not saying anything new. I think there's something about his sister. So I don't know. We'll all have to go. So Justin's going live at 1. We're all gonna have to go at 1 to see what's going on. Okay. Oh, all of his social media scrubbed now. They do that fast. They do that fast. They take all of their stuff down. So no one's told me what they're doing from New Year's Eve yet. So everyone needs to tell me what they're doing for New Year's Eve. Because I'm not doing anything but doing Twister. But is anyone actually going anywhere? Is the weather, so the weather was all bad with the storm, but now it's going to be nice from here on out, right? It'll be nice. Well, not here. Well, I'm not talking to you, you realize, right? Okay. I was just making sure. Because you were kind of talking to me too, but I was just making sure. Sometimes people probably wonder who I'm talking to. And sometimes I'm just talking to myself. You never know who I'm talking to. Sometimes I'm talking to my other personality in my head. I should come up with names. Magdalene. There'll be a Magdalene. She can be the like totally uptight Magdalene. She can be the like everything has to be like Sunday school teacher, like Catholic, like that can be Magdalene. Then we have to have there has to be a party personality, like a really big party personality. That can be, what's a good party personality name? I can't think of a good one. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to like see why this guy did it. I've heard talk that it could be a serial killer, which that would be crazy if it was just a random murder. I don't know how do people murder people? How do people do that? I mean, I know how they do it technically, but like what I just don't understand. Hey Magpie, so were you over at Justin's? We've kind of been watching here a little bit off and on. So the guy's from the Poconos. He looks familiar, and I've seen other people said he looks familiar. He looks very familiar to me, and I don't know why. And I'm from Pennsylvania, so I don't know why. But he's way too young for me to have actually known him in any way. But we're undecided. Friends always have a party. It's hard when you get older. Oh, yeah, you haven't been around much, Magpie. I saw you yesterday doing some of your famous trolling with Purple. You were always cry. I love watching you. I think, you know what? It's more fun watching Magpie in chat. No, I don't think it's because he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. He looks really familiar. I don't know. But my best friends from the Poconos but he's 28. So I mean, he's 32 years younger than me. No, wait, 22 years younger than me. And I haven't lived on the East Coast for a long time. So, I mean, maybe because he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, I've seen other people say that he looks familiar, but you're going to a friend's birthday party. Oh my gosh. So do you think there'll be a good fight on YouTube for New Year's? I mean, seriously, he does look creepy. He looks creepy as fuck. I mean, we've got it all. Like, I just realized that New Year's Eve is tomorrow. Like, it's tomorrow. Like, it just kind I mean, I knew it was coming, but it's tomorrow. It just snuck up. But I mean, we've got everything's coming to a head. Everything's coming to a head for the Purple Heidi Harper and Tony I can't remember his name. Oh my god. I'm really like not awake yet. Frank. Couldn't remember Frank's name. Tony Frank. I guess Tony Frank, Mr. Tony. It's like a Pooh should make a dun 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 dun. Like it could be a serious like brawl between the two sides. Oh, I want to be there when Harper cries. I want to be there when it goes off and Purple and Heidi turn on Harper and she cries. Because it's going to happen. Because quite honestly, she comes all the time. Like she's always, every once in a while, she just comes my way. And I've heard all the things about all the horrible things every time. So I know they're going to turn on her eventually. You know, two forces. It's true. It's like everybody's wrong. Maybe everybody's a little right, but not real. But it's like true. It's just like, and the bar does keep getting set lower and lower. I mean, we were saying earlier how I don't think very few people believe that the phone calls, hey, well, we were watching too. We were we were watching everything over at Justin's, but we were yapping as well. But oh my gosh. So my best friend's from Scranton and I grew up in Pennsylvania. So like, wow, that guy's from there. That's crazy. Can't wait till 1 to see that. But then we're all talking about, yeah, like last night I saw when Tony first went in, she made herself look worse than anyone because everyone's trying to defend themselves and you can't defend anything here. And everyone's just emotions are so raw. They just fight. I mean, everybody just looks bad. Like anything anybody says just makes them look worse, to be honest. Like everything everybody was saying last night just made every single person look worse. I mean, everybody who opened their mouth from like 8 p.m. on just made themselves look like more and more of a jackass the longer time went by. It was just crazy. Yeah, and everybody's caught up in it to the point that everybody wants to prove that they're right. Everyone wants to prove that they're right. And it's impossible to prove that you're right in an unprovable wrongness. It's just not possible. And so everyone's just struggling so hard to prove themselves right that all they're doing is making themselves look heinous. It's horrible. I mean, maybe a new year starting will, I don't know, give them a little like kumbaya moment to realize what's important. I don't know. Maybe catching this guy and realizing the value of life. I don't know. But it is like people have lost sight of what's important and what isn't. I mean, is it important making sure the purples of the world don't think that I don't know, like, is that what's important? Making sure you look right to this person or making sure this person doesn't think you crank called them. I mean, none of that's important. And people are trying so hard to make themselves look good that they're just looking like jackasses. Well, I don't think we mean that everyone's that deeply embroiled in it. Like Precious, I think, well, some people are, but I think most of us have a clear view of reality. But the key players in it are certainly starting to get very, very mulled under it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's dark as anything right now. It's so dark. Yeah. It looks like it's 5 p.m. here. Well, like last night. Well, I see what you're saying, Magpie, because last night, I mean, everybody was wrong, everybody was right. And to be quite honest, I agreed with Purple. When do I agree with Purple? But everything that was going on, I agreed with Purple, and I was like, wow, how's that happening? But I mean, one thing and we were talking about this earlier, I don't think that all of the calls that are being said to have made have actually been made. Like, I think a lot of the things that people are saying that have happened, I think a lot of it is just bullshit. A lot of it is just for drama. I think probably more than half of the calls that people are saying, oh, I got this call, I got that. I think most of them are lies. I mean, come on, people would be just so much would be going on. So she is. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Why are we even talking about Tabby? Like, why is Tabby being brought up? I was on there the other night bless you, Holly, that's my cat sneezing. It was after I came back, so I was gone. I had my live on Saturday, that was Sunday, Monday, and I came back on Tuesday, and then suddenly I'm watching Purple, and she was basically doing a live from 6 months ago. And I'm like, what on earth? What am I watching? Why am I watching it? Did I get like transformed back in time? I don't understand where I'm at. And she literally was doing a live from 6 months ago because she had nothing else to do. And then she's talking about, oh, I'm gonna see this through. See what through? You already saw it through. It's from 6 months ago. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, what on earth what does she have to do with Tabby? What is there to talk about with Tabby? I don't understand. Talk about, like, if I hear her talk about her job, you already went through that. How many times? How many times does Tabby have to say, oh, I didn't really lose my job, but then I did? Like, get over it. Like, be done. Be done. Well, she's got a weird crew now, though. She's got a lot of new people. That's the thing. She's got a lot of new people who don't know the backstory. And that's the thing, too. It's like everybody's right, everybody's wrong right now. Like, it used to be that you could clearly see, here's the right side, here's the wrong side. These people are acting funny. These people are just trying to, and now it's just like everybody's right, everybody's wrong. It's just crazy. Nobody can see the forest through the trees. The trees are the forest, and they're up everybody's butt and getting smacked with a dick with a cactus. I mean, that's the other thing. I'm tired of all that talk. I think that all parties involved have done or said, yeah. That's why I say everybody's right, everybody's wrong. I think at this point, everybody has done a lot of wrong, but everyone, has also done a lot of right. So I don't think at this point you can say who's, you are definitely more in the, I think it's all just everybody. It's just one big, what do you call those? When everybody just fights. What do you call those? When everybody runs in and fights? Battle Royale. It's like a battle royale of misfit reject battle royale of everyone just running in with their phones and their trap calls. And have you washed your today? Suck it, and just yelling at each other. And who knows how it's going to go down? No idea. And it is all noise at this point. And who knows how it's going to end? Who knows how it's going to end? Because so much crap's being brought in. Like last night, Tony came in talking just random crap about Peaches, and Peaches started talking random crap about Tony. And then everyone's making fun of Frank. I mean, everybody's just going to a level that it doesn't need to be. People started on talking about something that was really something to be talked about. And now everyone's just lost their damn mind. Everyone's lost their damn minds. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That was my line from yesterday. What? Everybody, Justin keeps putting up that picture of that crazy guy. God, he's scary looking. Ooh, my tummy just growled a really weird growl. With that said, some are way more. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Some are more, but it's like the lines are blurring. I think that's the best way you said it. The lines are blurring. It used to be, there used to be times when it was clear, like this person's wrong and this person's right. And then and now it's like, I don't even know, because they're both wrong and they're both right. Some are a little, but it's all blurred, and who knows? And everybody's yelling, and everybody's, and it's just like battle royale. Everyone, I don't know. Do any of you watch Cobra Kai? Anybody watch Cobra Kai? Because this year on, I don't know, maybe the 5th or some episode, they just let them fight it out. They're like, you guys just fight it out. And when you're done fighting, then you'll be fine. And they did. They fought until they couldn't fight anymore. And then they were like, okay, we're fine with each other. So maybe we do. Maybe we need to just let them get in there and fight it out. Fight it until they're just laying there like, can't breathe, just like, I can't fight anymore. And then maybe everyone will just be like, realize the stupidity of what's going on, because that's the thing. And if anyone wants to yap too, they can come up. I don't care. I always forget to do this, but that's the other thing. Like, what even is when does it end? Is there something that can happen to make it end? I don't know. Like, what are we going for? I don't know. Like, what will end it? I don't even know. Like, and I've never heard more people talk about lawyers and legal crap. Yeah. Like, I remember when I had I call it my Jerry Springer moment, when I went up there that one time. And it was like, last night was another Jerry Springer moment, and I wasn't involved. And it was totally like, I mean, somebody came in and she was just like, da, 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 and then Peaches went, and we all should have sat there going, Jerry, Heidi, Tony, Purple, Peach. Like, we all should just start yelling. Maybe that's what we should do last night, or tomorrow night. Last night, that's what we should do last night. We should get our space machines and go back in time. Maybe that's what we should do. Purple should film it. Everyone should turn their cameras on, and everyone can have a battle royale and just fight to like the death, not the real death, but until everyone's just too exhausted to fight anymore. Maybe that's what we need. Just let everyone fight it out. Just fight it out until there's no more fight left, and you just are like, okay, you're not that bad. I guess we'll just agree to disagree. I mean, how are people ever going to see? Because that's the thing. Like, everyone has gone to this place. It's like you back yourself into a corner and you can't get out. Like, everybody, well, not everybody, but Tony definitely is backing herself into a big old legal corner. Like, she's backed herself into a corner that she needs to just seriously sue some people. But, I don't think she has the grounds to do that. Like, nobody technically has damages. Like, everyone's talking about suing each other, but nobody has damages, like real damages that they would be awarded in court. Like, nobody has financial damages. They don't. And, the thing is, Tony was talking about, mental damages. Well, when you already, I mean, I hate to say it, but when you already do have issues, it's hard to prove that something that has happened has caused you to have those issues, because you already had them. It's like if I all at once suddenly went off the deep end. I don't normally do that. I'm normally very logical and so it would be clear that something happened to me that clearly I lost it. But when you're already kind of and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but when you're normally going through stuff, and then you're going, you can't really say, well, now I'm going through stuff because of them. Well, you're always going, it's tough to prove. It's very tough to prove. Like, you really have to show signs of this is normal, and wow, look, and everyone has to really be able to be like, wow, yeah, that really affected you. Like, wow, that's a big something that happened there. And nobody has that. I hate to say it. Nobody has that. Nobody has enough damages to really sue anybody. So all these people talking about, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you, I mean, I could be wrong. I always could be wrong, and I always admit when I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Like, I don't think any single person could pull off any sort of harassment, cyberbullying, cyber stalking suit right now of all, like Heidi's saying it, Tony's saying, like everybody's saying it. Well, not everybody. Actually, I don't think Purple's ever said it. Well, except with her husband, and Frank doesn't say it, but Heidi and Tony say it a lot. Heidi says it a lot. And Heidi is the last person to like. She's not showing any damages. What, she affected her allowance from her husband? No. I mean, come on. So you got all like, so what's going to happen with all that? It's kind of like when you back a tiger into a corner. Eventually, they're going to have to bite you, whether they want to or not. They're just going to have to. They're going to be standing there long enough that they're like, all right, I got to kill this mofo. I don't want to, but I guess I got to bite their head off. And that's really what's going on. It's frightening. It's scary. I think a lot of us are kind of taking little breaks too. I mean, I kind of, I took, and I was just very dismayed. I was like, what's wrong with people? Like, that's why what is that? My life, like, what the fuck? Because that's how I felt when I came back. The first thing I heard when I came back was the whole thing about the death certificate thing. And I was just like, what is wrong with people? Like, and in listening to her, she's like, well, I just have this one question. No, you're not allowed to ask questions of other people's kids. Like, that's not your place. I don't know. I don't even think even your excellent trolling can save the day, Magpie. Usually your excellent trolling can like take people's brains away from it so they like chill out long enough to like, I don't know, not go off the deep end. But I don't know if even you can help right now. It's horrible. It's sick. Like, and most of these people would have fun together if they actually allowed themselves to. Like, Tony might not realize it, but, well, she and I actually got along really well when we were friends. I don't think she remembers that. But, like, we probably would get along really well because we both like singing music from movies and, like, the 80s and singing in cars. I mean, we have a lot in common. Like, a lot of us around here probably have more in common than we have against. Like, we do. Like, and it doesn't seem it when you're in the time of fighting, but like Precious and I have a blast together, and I think Tony and Purple would have a blast together. I don't know if Heidi would have a blast with anyone because she is a blast up the bum up, but I don't know. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, think someone's going to go to jail? How many people think someone's going to have to go to jail for this to stop? Like, for whatever reason, who thinks someone might have to go? Like, or something bad has to happen. Jail or something bad. Like, who thinks that? Breathe. How do you think this is going to turn out? Every once in a while I do that. My brain goes faster than my mouth can because I'm still like I feel very tired right now. I feel a little sleepy. You go back to sleep. I think it's because it's so dark out. It makes you just want to like get in bed. But I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Well, you know what? It's probably going to turn out how everything turns out. Eventually, someone will just let it go. If you truly don't, yeah, exactly. Like, I think a lot of people, like, I watch people who fight with each other, and I'm like, you guys would actually get along really well if you stopped fighting with each other. Most people here would get along with each other if they stopped fighting with each other. Like, that's the thing that, can you guys hear that and see that in the background? That's the thing that always gets me. I remember I like was fighting with he was my best friend for a long time, and then we got in this really bad fight. And I remember thinking to myself, like, if we just like let it go, why are we? I think I smoked pot actually, and I was like, what do we? Oh, that's bright. Oh, that's bright. That's bright. Wow, look how dark it. I don't know if you can see. It's like it's so foggy. Hi, I'm just looking at how dark it's like 4 p.m. out there. We can kind of see. It's like it's just that's not brightness. It's just all fog. Usually the fog burns off by now. No, I don't think anyone's going to be arrested. But people are going to threaten it. I mean, everyone keeps saying it. I'm going to call the cops. I mean, maybe someone will. I don't know. I think some of us unexpectedly found ourselves as straight up drama communities. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty dramatic, but it's in a fighty dramatic way. It's like none of this is fun drama. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think someone might need to apologize. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna back down. Like, so we've got Purple, Heidi, Harper, and we've got Tony, Frank, and I guess Robin, really. And that's the thing. Like, Tony, like, I think Heidi can, if pushed, she will give an I'm sorry, but. And I think Purple probably could, like, apologize too, and just, not necessarily mean it, and it wouldn't sound really great, but I think she could do it for the greater good. But I don't know if Tony can. I don't know if she, and I was like that when I was younger too. I had a really big problem with ever apologizing to anybody about anything. I don't know if she can do that. And if she can't, it's going to be really hard for anything to not just be caustic. And that's the thing, is that if it gets caustic, then it's going to hurt people because it's going to be pick or choose who you want to be with. Like Peaches, she wasn't allowed to come into my chat. She could only, it was like, go to Tony's or come to mine, but you can't go in both. And like Tooth Fairy, do you go into Tony's at all? Because I know you go into Purple's, but then but if you do, then you would have to pick and choose which way, and there are a lot, like Magpie, you go into both as well. You would have to pick and choose. And who wants to have to do that? Oh, her side, her sorries are always an I'm sorry, but. Heidi's are always an I'm sorry, but. She never, I don't think she even says the word but. I don't think I've ever heard her give a genuine sorry. Like, I remember when she apologized to me, I was like, don't even bother, because I can totally tell that you're just fake. Like, don't even bother apologizing to me if it's going to be an I'm sorry, but. I'm sorry, but you made no. I made a satire about a community. It wasn't even no. If you're going to give a but, just stop talking. I think most people are like that, but she could at least say it. She could at least say it to make things pipe down. Like, it could fake and calm down to a certain level. What do you want? Eggs? I don't know if we have any. Let me ask Daddy real quick. I think he's outside getting. Oh, I could make a fire tonight. I don't know. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any resolution that can come, because I don't know that Perp calls me a hate channel. But you do mostly lives, don't you, Griffey? Because I've seen your lives. You're there with your wife, right? And you I think you do mostly lives. I've seen your lives. Do you do little clips or other stuff too? But I mean, I was a bully channel. Like, she hasn't actually talked about me in a long time. But I was a bully channel for a long time. When she talked, there's that bully channel. A bully channel. Thinks she's a roast channel. Want to be a roast channel. She's really a bully channel, that Barbie. Barbie. And then she thought I was upset about being called a Barbie. I was like, who wouldn't want to be called a Barbie doll? Come on. Dum-dum. Yeah. I've seen your lives, but why would that be hate? I mean, I understand, when I roasted people, I can see how you would be dumb enough to take that as hate. I'm just kidding. But I mean, you do lives. Why is that? I mean, and I don't think I've ever heard you guys just joke about it. I don't know. No, I don't think you're hate. But that's what everybody goes to. That's what she takes. Everybody is. Anyone who is not on our side, they're hate and a bully channel. I was a bully channel for the longest time. And I had everything, because at one point I was going to roast her. So I had everything written out. And I have an app that I can actually search the transcript. So I can just go to a live and search for bully. I can search for the word bully. And so what I did at one point, I would go to each one of her lives and I would search for Queen OG. And then I would have all the time. And then I would search for bully. Have all those timestamps. And it would be a lot. From August, it would be 000. And then as time went on, it was 24, like all she talked about was bully channel, roast bully channel. And then I'd look up Barbie and be like, and I just look up the transcript for all the words and then, write down everything that was said. But oh my gosh, for the longest time, it was like, that bully channel over there that calls itself a roast channel without Barbie. I didn't get the Barbie gene. I do mostly lies, so we talk about a lot of things. Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the deal. A lot of people find opinions to be hate, and they are not. But I get that all the time. I actually, I haven't been doing as much comedy stuff because I've been so busy. And I like to do the lives because I like to get to know people, but you would be surprised how long, like the 12 days of Christmas, you'd be surprised how long that took to make. I think it was 7 minutes. She is the biggest bully channel I've ever seen. My God. She is definitely a and it's funny, I would listen to her, so I would, tape her, so I could go back and write, and, it'd be like she would be there saying the most horrible things about me, calling me a bully. And it's like, yeah, I had my hands full this holiday season, so I was lucky to do anything. But that's all she does and now she's got all these new people who don't really know the backstory. So they're all like happy because it's all new. Like you can only do that kind of stuff for so long. Like that's the thing. You can only be hateful and an asshole for so long, and then people get bored of it. Like how many times can you tell someone to stick before they're like, no, thank you. I had my lunch earlier. I'll have a popsicle instead. You always see that so many times. Like how many times can you ask someone how if they wash their feet today? Until you're like, no, I've got my baby wipes. I'm fine. Just you don't need to know about my hygiene. Like eventually that stuff gets old. And then, you can't do it. Yeah, I never cared for Tony even before she started channel. So much that I started to encourage several. What are your words? Well, I think we all know how I feel about Tony. We used to be friends. What are your 2 words to describe her? I have to say, last night, I think it was in the beginning when I was listening to Purple, I actually agreed with a lot of what she said. And I was like, oh my God, am I really agreeing with this person? Like, I think it was the beginning of hers from last night. She was just talking about people going on, like she was just making sense. And I was like, oh my God, something's wrong with me. Like Purple is actually making sense to me. And I'm actually kind of feeling like I'm agreeing with her. Like, what's wrong with this going on? So what are your 2 words? I need to know the 2 words. It's like the Grinch. Stink, stank, stunk. Those are 3 words. Plus, I don't have 10 hours. Well, you didn't say your 2 words. I only have 2 words to describe Tony. Well, there's 3 words to describe this Grinch. Stink, stank, stunk. What are your words to be to describe Tony? Tone deaf. See, that's the other thing about the 12 days. I'm tone deaf too. I worked really hard to be as unbad as I was. But Tony and I used to, like, back in May, we got along. We were friends. I have emails back and forth. She had a girl crush on me. We were like friends, which is why I was so hurt when she went off on me, which is why I sent my email, because I was saying I was hurt. But apparently, like, I don't know. But I realized that, like, everything went, and that's the funny thing. That was why, like, I was talking about when people show you who they are, believe them the first time, because everything has gone from, like, hate Purple, like Tony, like Purple, like Tony, hate Purple. Like it just switches every once in a while. These 2 are friends, then they're not friends, and those 2 are friends, and they switch up. Everybody's just like switching up, right? Like it's just like, now I like you, now I don't like you, now I'm friends with you, but now you're a friend. And it's just like everybody just switches up. And I don't get that. Like I'm not, like, if I'm friends with someone, I'm going to be friends with them. And if we get in a fight, I'm going to work out that fight. I'm not going to just be like, okay, thanks, bye. And now I'm friends with you and thanks, bye. And now I'm back to, it's just, I don't get that. I liked Tony. I have the same issue. Yeah. I don't know how someone can do a 10. 3 hours is my ungodly limit for me. Like right now, I'm getting like close to 2, and I'm getting to the point where like we're gonna have to wind this down because I can't do more than 3. Like 3 is like wow, that's a lot. I mean, a normal workday is 8 hours plus lunch. That's 9 hours. I can't do anything more than like that's 11 hours. I saw one that was 11 and a half hours. It's like what? What? Like how are you? I mean, wow. Can't do that. That's crazy. I liked Tony and Perp until they went to the dark side with Heidi and only one returned. Yeah, I mean, I thought Tony and was cool with me, and that was the time when like Hopi and Purple and Heidi were like going to Science Girls and doing a 5-hour live talking about me here, and then going to Taya's and doing 5-hour lives there, and I had everyone coming at me. It was like at any time point I could go listen somewhere to hear someone spewing some vile things. And then Tony got in on it. And I was kind of hurt because I was like, of all people coming at me, I didn't think you would be one of them. And then she turned out to be the worst of them all because she's got a mouth, a big time. Like, I was like, why? I mean, like, if you watch that first little whatever I did, I don't know if you call it a roast, but whatever. I mean, she's like, where does that cunt live? Let's go dox your fucking kids. Like, in today's climate, you're gonna say, let's go dox my kid. Like the things she said, and the things I put in my videos weren't even the worst things. Like they're like the tamest things. I mean, the things she said, and it was all day, every day for like 7 weeks. It's like, I realized that she decided to not like Purple, and so everyone who didn't like Purple kind of like, but I can't. I mean, even if she apologized, which she's never even heard an apology. Like, even if she did, I don't know if I could, like, she's shown me who she is. Like, I couldn't talk like that about anyone, even someone I hated. Are you going?
Yes.
All right. I love you.
Right.
All right. What time? All right. Is the other nugget awake? All right. Sleepyhead. No, I don't. Well, I don't think she is. I think she's very triggered. But like after Tony kind of like changed, I guess. Well, after she like separated from Purple, like so many people came at me and were like, "Oh, are you gonna, And I was like, if she wants to apologize to me, that's step one. And I was waiting. I heard her apologize to Justin. Heard her apologize to Molly. Waiting. Talked about me worse than anyone. Waiting. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. So I can't, I don't know if there's anything. I mean, like, I'm the kind of person who though, and I was listening to, I don't know if you're still here, Mysterious Crimes. I was listening to you, and she was saying basically like, just because you go into someone's live or are near someone and say hi doesn't mean you like co-sign all their bullshit. And I totally get that. Like in the real world, sometimes you have to be cordial. You have to be the bigger person. You have to go to a party and there's somebody there at the party who you don't like and who doesn't like you. And you can't go brawling right then and there. You just, you see them and you're like, hey, how's it going? And then you go do your own thing. Like in the real world, we do that. In the real world, like, because you do that, everyone's not like, oh, well, I see you guys are best friends again. Well, hate you now. I mean, there's got to be some in the middle ground. Like, I know, if I think it's human nature too, when someone's done something to you and then you see one of your friends hanging out with that person, you're kind of like, hey, what are you doing? That person hurt me. But that's a little different. If you're there hanging out and being nice and like getting along and laughing together, that's one thing. And that's still be okay. All of these are on a spectrum. And I'm not saying right or wrong to anything. Everyone has to do what works for them. But way back from that is just like saying hi, like just acknowledge like hi and then moving on. Like you definitely should be able to do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with you go somewhere and you're just like, hi, and then you do your own thing, you know, but some people won't even let you do that. And they just freak out. You said hi to that person. You know, you're out. I will never talk to you again. You have, you know, hurt me. And it's like, there's got to be, you know, you can't tell people what to do, where to go. You know, people can be friends with your enemies. You know, it happens. Like, and everything is on an individual case by case basis. You know, you can't make some blanket statement. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, it depends on what happened to you. You know, like, I mean, it's always hurtful when someone you're friends with talks to someone you're enemies with, but you can't tell someone what to do. And just because you don't get along with that person doesn't mean that there's not something there that they will get along. And you don't have the right to tell anyone anything. Do you have the right to be hurt? Of course, everybody has the right to their feelings. Everyone has the right to feel however they want to feel. That's always okay. But how you act on it, that's different. So, you know, maybe you're hurt that your friend's talking to someone you don't like, but how do you act on it? Do you tell them like you hate them and you don't want to be friends with them anymore? Maybe that's not okay. Do you just kind of, you know, say, hey, maybe have a conversation when I'm not around because it makes me up, you know, whatever. Like, everyone has to figure out what works for them and what works for that specific situation and that relationship. And there's no right or wrong. No one can tell you, like, you know, how to navigate that ship kind of thing, you know? If I don't like someone, so Precious. So I heard that Hopi is just a little upset right now. Like, she's fine. She's just a little upset because she's been ousted and she's a little upset. She's trying to like play some people to have sympathy for her, but you know, but she's not in a hospital or in jail or anything like that. If I don't like someone, it's because I don't like them. It's never because of someone else. Yep. Like, I will never judge someone based on the opinion of someone else. Right? Like, if I don't like you, it's because something between you and me, not because, you know, someone else's opinion is whatever. And that's why you can't expect someone to only do things because of you, you know? And I don't know. And again, that has to be a you know, case by case basis, you know, as far as how your relationship works with that person, if they want to do something with the other person. It's so confusing. I thought someone, I just can't remember who, said Susan did a welfare check on Hopi. I don't know. I didn't hear that, but I have heard that Hopi's depressed. And she's reached out to a few people that she's depressed, but I mean, I've been told that it's not. She, you know, she's playing it up a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. I mean, I have not seen or heard from that girl in a very, very long time. Yeah, I agree. You're absolutely able to be among people you don't like and be an adult about it. I don't agree with all the people I watch. Yeah, I mean, I always think of things to the real world because I'm human. I mean, let's face it. Like, I had a lot of people who were like hating Tony right with me. You know, Tony was vile to me. Everyone's like, oh, she's vile. I'll never sub to her again. And then, you know, I went away for the weekend. I came back and everyone who like was my friend suddenly was like her friend. And I was like, well, what just happened? I don't understand, you know? And of course there's part of you that wants to be like, how dare you? Da, da, da. But you know, it's not my place. I can't, you know, you can't do that. Like, you just can't. That's not your place. You know, you have to let people, you know, and it has to be on a case by case basis. You know, like, what happened? Why did it happen? It's not your right to dictate what someone else does. You know, can you be hurt about it? Yeah, but what do you do about it? Do you tell your friends you hate them all and they're wrong and how dare they can't ever talk to her? Well, you can, but that probably would ruin your friendships with them. So that's probably not the right way to go. So, I mean, you know, but for me, like, I kind of just dealt with that. And that was a little bit of a tough situation to figure out, like, wow, you know, I felt a little like, whoa, you know, like, wow. But, you know, and I'm still blocked over there, by the way, just saying. Yeah, she's fine. I mean, she's not fine, but she's fine. Half the people in her chat were talking shit about her when she was talking off a crowd view. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not, you know. You know, at first I was all, you know, you just whatever. I mean, that's the thing. Like, everybody changes everything so quickly. Like, that's another thing. Like, everybody moves so fast. Like, one day it's we don't like Tony. The next day, because Tony is mean to you. The next day, it's we like Tony because Tony doesn't like purple. You know, I mean, it's like things change so quickly for their own reasons, and everyone gets to have their own reason. Like everyone gets to make that own choice, and then I get to make my own choice. But I don't get to dictate what anyone else does, I guess. You know, I can dictate what I do because of it, but I can't dictate what anyone else does. You know what I mean? And none of it is right or wrong. Like nobody's wrong for going to changing their mind. You know, a lot of people change their mind about Tony, and that's okay. That's not wrong of anyone to do. You know what I mean? Like I may have been hurt about it for a hot minute, but that's not wrong of anybody. You know what I mean? And I don't have the authority to have told it. Like if I would have went around and been like, if you're gonna do that, fuck off, get out of my Discord. You know, like that wouldn't have been the right way to go. It would have been the very immature way to go. Hold on. Yeah, I think there's okay, playing with people and then yeah, I think there's like I always try and look at things like if it was in the real world. Like if you're watching someone like okay, so let's use Tony. So, you know, like if you're in there watching Tony and Tony's just doing her own thing, like that's not, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But if Tony starts going off on me, saying things that aren't true, and you just say nothing, well, then, you know, that's probably maybe, I mean, I don't know. Like to me, I wouldn't do that. Like if I even in real life, if I was somewhere and there was someone saying untruths about someone else, I would have to say, hey, like that's not true. Like I hear what you're saying, but that's not true. Or if someone was just being vile about, I would be like, hey, that's probably not the way to talk, you know? But is everyone like that? Is everyone like not everyone's going to be like that? Not everyone wants confrontation. So you also can't expect everyone to kind of like, you know, stand up for you or you know what I mean? Like relationships are a very interesting thing. There's no right or wrong with them. I mean, I do think I am owed an apology. I think that is like flat out. I deserve to be unfucking blocked and I deserve an apology. Like I never did anything to her at all. I mean, my first email was because she talked shit about me, you know, so like for her to say that first email was like coming, you know, I am owed an apology big time and I should not be blocked. And that I think is like, I think anyone would agree with that. But that doesn't mean that anyone can't go hang out with her or be in her chat or like needs to tell her that over and over again. You know what I mean? Like everything goes on. And if she does, she does. And if she doesn't, that just, you know, she and I are, and at this point, even if she did, I don't think she could make things right by apologizing at this point. That's my son's phone, by the way. It's very loud. You know, I mean, like when, like one thing that really bothers me is when she is not kind to Robin Lennon. I don't like that. Yeah, it is kind of like an elevator. You know, like I was really, you know, to be honest, I was actually hurt when like I kind of felt like everyone just like dropped me and went and ran to Tony, and I felt really like I didn't feel good about that. But, you know, am I just going to be a baby and be like, nah, 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 or am I just going to be like, hey, be an adult about it and like, you know, and let everyone do what they want. And, you know, you got to be an adult about it. Life is life. You know what I mean? You can't tell other people what to do, and you don't deserve to, like, cause you don't know, like, I don't know the relationship between her and other people. So there might be something really good there that they deserve to be friends. You know, I don't know the full story, so I don't get to make those decisions. Can I say you owe me an apology? And if you talk shit about me, I hope anyone hearing that would stand up for me. Yes, I can say that, but that's pretty much probably all I can say, right? That, you know, like I can get away with that. I think everyone would say like, yeah, that's okay. You know what I mean? But she's starting to cut her nose off despite her face, right? You know, like, I mean, like I personally, like with going after Peaches, like last night when she went into Perps and was going after Peaches, like she was doing it, like I was like, someone needs to get her out of there because she's making things worse for herself. She's not making herself look good right now. Like she's got a hard time. She has a hard time apologizing, and that's going to be her downfall. Is I'm pretty sure that her and her husband made some phone calls to Purple, and she should apologize. And if she isn't, she's going to make things really bad for herself because Purple is going to try and run with the narrative that she made all the calls, all of them, and she's going to make all of them sound really bad and threatening. So she needs to apologize for what she did do so Purple doesn't make what she did do into something bigger. You know what I mean? Like she's going to start cutting her nose off to spite her face. So, I mean, I would love everyone to get along. Like in the real world, people call me Switzerland. My friends call me Switzerland. I'm Switzerland. Like I'm always a bigger person. I just let everything go. I don't fight with anybody. I'm always Switzerland. Like that's my role. I bring people together. I counsel people who are fighting with each other. Like I'm Switzerland in the real world. And I try to be that on YouTube. Like I try to give people advice. Like with Peaches, I have given her, like, even though I don't know, Peaches tagged me in something. I don't know what that was about, but I have a feeling, Tony was probably saying that I was trying to use her to get information, and like quite the opposite. Like I have been very forthcoming with Peaches that, like I don't like some of the things that Tony has said to her, but I also don't like some of the things that Peaches has said. And they both need to protect each other's emotions, but family comes first, and they should take it off YouTube, like knock it off. At the end of the day, they're family, and that should come first, and they should take their shit elsewhere. Like, stop airing your dirty laundry. That's like not okay. And I think I told her flat out once, like, Tony and Jackie are your family and you're going to need them at the end of the day. So you might want to, just try and work it out with them however you need to. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, that should not happen. That whole, Perp did it last night. She said that because exactly. Like, and that's the thing. If they go in there guns blazing, she's going to be backed into that corner and she's going to come out Uzi blazing. So what if I was giving people advice, I would say you need to diffuse the situation by being as apologetic for what you have done, and then say you're going to work with her to figure out who did the other stuff. Unless they did it. I mean, maybe they did do it. I don't know. But if you didn't do it, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even done. I don't know. Like, I mean, do we really think that she was threatened, that her son's life was threatened? Like, do you guys think like she was actually threatened to that level? Now, I was told that she talked about a phone call prior to coming on Tony's. And when she talked about it, she laughed about it. And then she came on, and I didn't see any of that. That's just what I was told. And then she came on Tony's and talked about it and freaked out. And it was suddenly like the crying and the splitting of, and it was really bad. So if that's true, and based on what I heard, then no, because if it was that bad, it would be that bad the first time you talked about it. You wouldn't talk about it the first time and kind of laugh it off, and then the second time it's really bad and it upset you that much. And I also think that if she really got something to that level, she would have acted differently. And I do think she would have recorded it. So I don't know. I don't necessarily know that that's true, but I could be wrong. And who am I to even be allowed to have an opinion on that? But I don't know. So I don't really think that splitting of the throat and like raping you with your family, I don't know if that happened, but I think something happened. I think there are definitely some mean crank calls going on, but I don't think they were to the level and the gravity of what is being said they are. But in any case, there are still calls being made. And at a certain point, it's like, it doesn't matter if the calls that are being made are on a level 2 or on a level 10. We're adults and you're making phone calls. Like, in either case, you're wrong. Whether you're wrong, or you're just wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong. Like, you're wrong. and you need to make up for that. So, I mean, is it really, do we really believe that there was more than one person who made prank calls? I mean, you have to start going into like the logic of it. Like, so we know that Tony and Mr. Tony definitely made some prank calls to Purple. And I'm probably pretty sure that Purple made some to them as well. I'm sure it went both ways. But is it really logical to believe that more than one person made calls to each person? I don't know. But you know what? We really don't know each other that well. I had a girlfriend that laughed when she was nervous. That's true. That's true. We never know, I think I just heard a cat. Hold on. It's true. We don't always know each other that well to really know what the other person is saying or thinking. That's very true. That's right. So I might think someone's doing something and think they're an asshole for it, but they might really not be doing, and that goes to intent. But so here's the thing. Like, I had a situation with someone who took something I said out of context. And when I said it to her, I anticipated that she might take it out of context. So I said something like, hey, if you take this the wrong way, or, if this upsets you or offends you. And I said certain things. So it would be very obvious that if they were a little offended, they talk to me first. Like, that's the other thing. We should be talking to each other first, not going off to the YouTube world. Like, if you laugh, Tooth Fairy, at me, and I'm like, what a little bastard laughing like that. Like, maybe I should talk to you first for you to say, you know what? Sometimes when I'm nervous, I laugh and I don't really mean to be laughing. I'm sorry. And then, we talk and like, oh, okay, I get it now. Rather than doing a live and being like, that fucking Tooth Fairy did this and then laughed at me, had the fucking audacity to laugh at me. And now it's all out that Tooth Fairy's an asshole. Like, we really should be being more adult-like and talking to each other first. Like, imagine if we did that. Imagine if instead of, Purple on a live being like, look, it's Jack Fry, and did all, like, went and said, look, I got this trap call and I see it's your number. Obviously you did this. Can you just be honest and tell me what else you've done? Like, let's just work it out. Like, imagine if they did that. Like, but that wouldn't bring the clicks and views. And that's the other thing. Like, people do like drama. Like, that is like, let's just face it. That is what Purple's channel is all about. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's what her channel does. And that's what she gets her views from. So, like, we have to accept that too. That's her thing. That's what she does. Like, like, she's transformed over time from the game girl to like the, true crime girl to now this is what she does. She has like caustic fights on her channel, and she's good at it. Like, she needs to just own what she does. Like, that, go for it. And I think she is. And that's her little niche. I don't know if that kind of niche lasts forever, but that's her niche right now. And she's got to just roll with it, kind of thing. I mean, I don't know, but so she can't talk to other people because that would ruin her channel. But I mean, the rest of us, we really should start talking to each other. We really should just do things that are adults. Like, that's the thing. Like I'm gonna do something. I think I'm gonna do like a satire kind of thing that, like, in the real world, we do this, and then in the YouTube world, we do this. Like, in the YouTube world, in the real world, when something happens, you say, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And in the YouTube, you get live and you're like, hey, can I talk to you guys for a second? All 113 of you in here, let me tell you a story. And, then that gets, and then suddenly, you've just ruined some person, right? The threat calls were all zero, so she said. Well, zero. So I was looking at what all the spoofing was, and it said that, like, it's the same whether it's restricted call. So if you want to, like, privatize your number, so your number doesn't come up, block your number. you can set it so it says private, restricted, or is all zeros. So all zeros are oftentimes they do that in hospitals because they don't want you to see the room. So like it'll just whatever room you call from, it'll be all zeros. So all zeros are not anything special. It's the same thing if you see something that says private number. Like it's nothing grand or special. It's another thing of like, blocking your number. Just the same as restricted or private or like no call or something. There's another one. But those are all the same. If you get any of those, it's all the same thing. Yeah, I Googled it too, and it said, we'll look at it right now. Let's see what it says. So over here. Here we'll share. Because that's what I read. So let's look at it again. Let's do there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna look for this gonna be the right one. Okay. All right, what does it mean when you get a phone call with all zeros? It means it's someone who doesn't want to be identified. It's probably a scammer or robocaller. Only scammers and robocallers anonymize their numbers. It means don't answer. It's a hidden number. Why do I get a call from all zeros? This probably reason is that the caller has hidden their number from caller ID. This means that the caller has set up their calling system to actively block the recipient, i.e. your caller ID, from identifying the number. So, can't respect people. Yeah, I Googled it. So it didn't match anything. I'm Italian too. So, but I think Trap Call can find it out. I think Trap Call does all block numbers. What does it mean when I get a call? Is representative of any unknown initiated call coming in as to what could happen if you answer. Okay, so. Let's see. Phone calls from number with all zeros. All right, I just want to see if there's another one. Oh, this is from 2011. I don't want to read you. You're way old. You're way too old to be reading you. All right. Those are all nines. Whose phone number is all zeros? All right. One of the most probable reasons is, I think we just read this one. I think we just read that one. On a phone bill. When did a block appear? Okay. All right, so let's look at Trap Call and see if it can figure out one of those. So it's basically no different than like a private number kind of thing. Trap Call. How do you unmatch? Where does it come from? Why do I block? Okay. We get calls that say I get calls that say unlisted or private. Yeah, I get unlisted, private. I've never gotten zeros either, but I've gotten the other two. Oh, how to block unknown callers and no caller ID. This is interesting. It says make a contact with all zeros and then block it. Hold on, where did it just say that? That was a neat idea. Where did it just say that? I just saw it in the little like intro. I get restricted too. Trap Call does restricted because I used to get restricted all the time. Like when I was live, I would get restricted. I would get calls for restricted when I was on live. And Justin was the one who told me to get Trap Call. And it does. It unhides the restricted call. Odd contact 0000000, and then just block contact. Oh, No, not bad, but I use the trap call app to actually show me. So trap call should show you. Mine show on my TV. Yeah, mine will show scam calls. All right, unmask block calls. So that's one. X keep calling me on no caller ID. Yep, so it just means they've blocked a caller ID from seeing you. Oh my God. Today I got a call from the number 1000000000000. Google searching this tells me it's ghost. Assigned someone I love is about to die. Oh boy. Oh boy. How to identify to uncover a no caller ID. So yeah, so trap call should oh great. My internet access is blocked. Well, screw you guys. I'm taking my toys home. So threats blocked. See, I almost got a threat. Look at that. Look at that. Someone tried to just screw my pooch. Someone just tried to look at that. Someone just tried to screw my pooch right there. So basically, now I can't see. Let's do that right now. Stop. Fake offer. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get rid of this. There we go. Let's see here. All right. Oh boy. I might have to restart. Let me see if I can close everything but. Hold on. I'm going to shut down and come back in because I keep getting all these things. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. Can you hear me and see me now? I don't answer unknown calls either. If I don't know, can you hear me and everything? Am I good? If I don't know, if I don't recognize your number, I don't just answer it. God, I got good hair today. I haven't even combed my hair today. I really should comb my hair, at least. But if I don't know, if I don't recognize your number, I don't even pick it up. Because unless I know your number, I don't pick it up because I figure if it's important, you will leave me a message. And if you don't leave me a message, too bad. Too bad. So I think everybody should do that. It would be much easier. But I read that Trap Call actually records calls for you. It will record calls for you. So I think I can have it record calls. So I don't know. So okay, so I'm gonna get going here in a few minutes. So guesses for today. So first we have the guy. So hopefully the guy, do we think the guy's a serial killer who killed the girls, the Idaho girls? Do we think he's a serial killer? I just yelled no. So do we think he's a serial killer? So that's first thing to answer. So answer that. I'm gonna put my hair up. Okay. Where's a hair tie? Do we think he's a serial killer? Answer if you think he's a serial killer or not. And then I'll ask you a second question. God, StreamYard is so slow. It takes forever. You think you don't know? I don't know. I think I'm gonna say I think he was jealous of the girls somehow. He was jealous of the girls and he got angry and went to kill them. That's gonna be my guess. That's gonna be my guess. He's not a serial killer. He was angry. He was like one of those like hated them, like thought they were snotty, and then so he killed them. That's gonna be my guess. So anyone else have any guesses? And then my second question is going to be, what do you think is going to happen with the Perp Tony situation? Do we think it will? I don't know. What are even the options that'll happen? Oh, like, what are even the options? I guess one, well, I don't know. Do you think Tony's going to double down? Do you think Tony's going to double down and say it's Perp's fault? Ooh, there's a lot of ways it could go. There's a lot of ways it could go. I don't know. Get worse and never end. Well, it has to end. Okay, here's a good one. Do we think Harper's going to cry tonight? Is Harper going to cry tonight? I'm going to say yes. I think I think someone's going to say something to Harper and she's going to cry tonight. She hasn't cried in a while. Yeah, I think there's some sort of connection too. I think like somehow he saw them and he like didn't like them, like he thought they were something. She hasn't cried in a while. She has not cried in a while. She has not cried in a while. She has been like, she's been very, very content in her place beside. She's like, it's like there's the person here and she's like, got her little scepter and she's just like sitting beside. I am Harper. I have not cried recently. She started to cry last night. I didn't hear her start to cry last night. Well, I didn't listen to all of it. I didn't hear that. When did I stop listening? Well, I guess I listened until Frank was on there trying to explain himself, and I was very confused, and so I got off then. If she shows proof, people demanded proof of Susan. Yeah. Well, she always says, if there's no receipts, it didn't happen. So where's her receipts? She needs receipts. I'd like to see them. Like, she always says that, but she doesn't. But I think it's time for Harper to cry. I think Harper's going to cry tonight. I think the guy wasn't just a random serial killer. I think he didn't like the girls for some reason. He knew the girls, and I think Harper's going to cry tonight. Those are my guesses. And this is my good hair for the day. This is called I haven't combed my hair and I'm not planning to, and I don't want to. I feel like I should like be like Jeannie. Remember that movie? And Heidi's gonna play Dick too. I'm surprised that I think that's why Hopi got a little kicked out. I think Purple had enough of her. I mean, Hopi really was taking over her chats in a big way, and I think she got the boot a little bit as well. But Heidi isn't like that. Like Heidi isn't that like she's not that bad when she takes over. I mean, she does, but like when Hopi took over, she just was like took over vocally, like just, and Purple was silent after that. Heidi's not that bad, but I think Harper's gonna cry. She hasn't cried in a while. Like, what was she doing? There was one part, it was right when I logged off, I think she started doing it. She was laughing about some dumb stuff. She was like really weird. She was really weird. Oh, Heidi always tells someone off. Oh my gosh. Heidi, and you know what was cracking me up? Heidi was talking about her two degrees. She does not have 2 college degrees. She has 2 certificates. Like, and I'm not knocking them, but there's a difference between getting a certificate as like a medical, you know, invoice person, medical billing person, that you get a certificate to be like a medical billing person. That's different than a PhD or a master's or a doctorate or a bachelor's. Those are degrees. It's different than a certificate. Like I think she has a cosmetology thing, and then she has like a medical billing assistant thing. Those aren't degrees. Those are certificates, and there's nothing wrong with them. But when she's all like, cause she was going off compared to, I think she was going off on Tony, but unseen. Oh my goodness. Wow. She is nutso. She is completely and utterly nutso, that one. Oh my goodness. And I have told her that many a time. See, that's the thing. I heard someone a few weeks ago say something about, they said something that they said that I had said in one of my lives. It made it sound like, oh, she forgot who was in her live and she said this. If I say anything here, I would say it anywhere. So, like, for example, me saying that, like maybe someone thinks I just said something behind Unseen's back, and I'm not talking about you guys, but I would say that to her face, and I have. Like the person who said that, I was like, girl, you're silly. But oh my God, yeah, Unseen, she should be unseen. She should be unseen, never seen. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you, girl. She is like cuckoo. She is crazy. She is loco in the membrane, girl. She is like, I don't know. I remember when I first, a diploma, not a degree. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, that's better than a degree. Although a diploma, I I think a diploma, just, and like I said, I'm not knocking it, but it's just like when you get that all up there being Billy Badass about something that, it's just like, hold on. I think a diploma is only with a like a diploma. I think a diploma is only for. No, it's a certificate. Okay, so a diploma is, yes, so she has 2 diplomas. Okay, is a diploma higher than a degree? A diploma is a basic degree, which is below a graduation or bachelor's degree. Okay. This certificate is issued by, okay. So yeah, so diploma, so she has 2 diplomas. All right, so I have degrees, she has diplomas. Got it. Although she probably does have, I think she went to a regular 4-year college, so she does have 1 degree. But anyway, yeah, the other, like last night with all of them, like you had 3 people, well, 2 people. You had 2 people. No, you had 3 people. You had 3 people yelling at each other, all of which who hadn't finished high school, all yelling at each other, trying to make each other feel like shit for not finishing high school, but yet all trying to sound like they were really smart, but while trying to make each other sound really dumb. And it was just stupid. I didn't mean to say it that way, but like, I don't think just finishing high school makes you smart or dumb. Like there are plenty of people who are very intelligent who have not finished high school or have all these degrees. Like just having something in your hand doesn't mean that you're smart. There are plenty of people who have things in their hand that are freaking dumbasses, and there are plenty of people who don't have it who are really smart. But it was just really funny hearing these 3 people trying to rip on each other like, you didn't even finish high school. Well, neither did you. Well, you're an idiot. Well, so are you. I mean, it was just hilarious. It was just hilarious. I got a diploma when I finished kindergarten, too. I finished kindergarten. I think I got one when I finished elementary school, too. I went to Catholic school, so I got one when I left Catholic school as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was Harper and it was Tony and Peaches, and they were all trying to rip on each other for like, you're stupid, you didn't finish high school. And the other one was like, well, you didn't either. And it was like, well, I read books. It was like, well, so did I. I mean, it was just hilarious watching. It was like the Three Stooges, no graduated high school edition. It was quite funny. Yeah, I went through, no, maybe I only went to 5th grade and then I like demanded to go to public school. I was like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to go to Catholic school anymore. I don't like it. I wanted to go to public school. I hated it. Hated it. Hated those nuns. Those nuns hated me. Oh, I hated that. Oh, man. Bitchin'. Ugh. Bitch. Can you guys hear the wind at all? It's like really bad right now. It's like whipping. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can't because this thing's a really good. 12 years. Oh, oh, that's harsh. I did. Well, I guess just kinder, first, second, third, fourth, 6 years because kinder. But I was supposed to do I was supposed to do kinder for 2 years, but I only did it because when I first started kindergarten, I was 4. And so they said like you had to be whatever. So they said I would have to do it again, but then they pushed me through. So I was always a year younger than everybody, and it's like I was like most people who go to 1st grade are 6, and I was 5. So when everyone was like 18, like in high school, I was still 17. Like I was 17, graduate. Like I didn't turn 21 till like it was horrible. It was horrible. Everyone being able to do stuff before you. So birth through 8 in high school. All girls. Oh. You know what's funny? So it wasn't an all girls school, but we had separate playgrounds. We had a girls' playground and a boys' playground, and you weren't allowed to like go on the other playground. So it was a boys and girls Catholic school, but you had a girls' playground and a boys' playground. You weren't allowed to play together. What the heck is that? Like, how does that prepare you for life? Like, I always tell my kids, my job as a mother is to prepare you for life. Like, prepare you so at 18, I can kick you out of the nest and you can go be functional. And if I don't prepare you, I haven't done my job. So, what is like not mixed? Like, how does that prepare you for life? Like, that's just stupid. Dumb. But yeah, we had separate boys and girls playgrounds. Stupid. But it was kind of nice, I guess. But I don't know. All right, it's almost noon. I need to get going. Okay, so we have our votes for today. So 1 p.m. So in about an hour and 15 minutes, there's a press conference. So and it's at Justin's, so you can listen to it anywhere, but you can listen to it there. And then we'll see what the day brings. Has Tony been live yet? Has she been on at all? Has she done anything? Has Purple been live yet? I'm sure Purple has been. She was live earlier. Oh no, she was live earlier. Has Tony been live yet? Because I'm not sub to her, so I never really hear it. But has she been like? I'm wondering because I think they know they got caught. Like however they want to spin it, like they did get caught. Like they did call. Like I'm sorry, they did call. But I want to know if she's been live. All right. Well, I'm gonna get going. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And she hasn't been live yet. Oh, I hope she's okay because she does get upset. He's back on for 3. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you like my great hair. It's wonderful. And I'll have my leg warmers done by next week. Happy New Year's. Happy 2023. God damn it. It's going to be 2023. Happy New Year's. All right. I love you guys.